Assalamualaikum warahmatullahi wabarakatuh. Myself, I'm Maseeha, and I'm from grade 8. Today I'm reading Maseeha and biology chapter 1 nutrition. Nutrition. So, whenever we have a casual conversation with each other, like whenever we talk with our, what do I say, with someone, like whenever we meet with someone, we have a casual conversation. We ask how are you, how's your health, and all. So, in this chapter, even health is related to our chapter, our daily conversation, which is about health. When we ask each other, how's your health going, how's your health. Okay, recently we have been our Ramadan experience, the month of Ramadan experience. So now after Ramadan, what questions did we ask each other? When we were having casual conversations, what questions did we ask each other during Ramadan? We'll ask how are you, how's your what like fast going on. We ask these questions to each other. So now we ask how are you, how your fast going on, how are you feeling, is this your first time to be all protein or protein fast? So we ask, so are you feeling hungry? So it is related to food, right? So today we will learn about food itself. Now, if I give you tomatoes and some spices and soap and pan and oil, and I ask you to cook something for yourself, and importantly, you will be able to cook with those things and you will be cooking. But it doesn't mean that you created that food. No, you didn't create that food. You just prepared food by those things which I gave you. So today we are going to learn in this chapter or in this seminar the mode of acquiring food of different organisms. Now we are given the introduction to number 1. So how we acquire food, how animals acquire food, how microorganisms acquire food. All the living organisms need food to live. Without food we cannot live. We consume food as a source of energy. We cannot have food in one day or more than one day we can live. But in order to be active, in order to live, we need to consume food. So in this seminar or in this chapter, we are going to learn about how different organisms the mode of acquiring different organisms. So nutrition. The very first thing is autotrophic. By the name autotrophic, have understand what does that mean? Autotrophic. Autotrophic is nothing but being autotrophic is nothing but the one who are able to capture sunlight and with the help of chlorophyll and by the process of photosynthesis they are able to create food for themselves also and for the entire universe also. Who? Nothing but plants. Plants are also called as the universal food providers. They are autotrophic. Now what is the meaning of autotrophic is they are capable of using light energy to prepare food. They are also called as universal food producers because they are producing food or prepare food or to synthesize food. We can use both technologies. Now, this is a good autotrophic. Plants are autotrophic nutrition. They are having the mode of acquiring food and creating is autotrophic in plants. Now, plants are giving us different variety of food which we all consume. Now, how are they getting? Now, we have to understand how are they getting from soil, air, and water. From soil, air, and water, they are grabbing the nutrients, and with the help of that, they are using sunlight as an energy. With the help of chlorophyll and the process of photosynthesis, they are able to synthesize food for entire universe. Yes. Now they are giving us food. Now when I am starting to say we are acquiring food as a source of energy. So what they are doing is they are providing us. They provide energy. They are providing us energy. There was a scientist by the name Van Helmont. His name was Van Helmont. He was a scientist. What he did is he played a very major role in the process of photosynthesis. Today we all know what is photosynthesis. But he said the role of, he configured the role of what? L1. We learn about him further, but for now we can remember Frank Helmont was a scientist and he said on the role of water. This is very, very important. The next topic of our is photosynthesis. What is photosynthesis? Photosynthesis is very simple. It is just, for definition, it is very simple to understand. You imagine yourself as seeing a plant. In your eyes, you see a plant. What does plants do? They grab sunlight or they need sunlight. They take sunlight. With the help of sunlight, they use their fluorophylls, nothing but the green pigment which they have. They use the chlorophyll with the help of sunlight, chlorophyll, and the process of photosynthesis, or by the help of sunlight and chlorophyll and nutrients which they are grabbed from soil, water, and air. They give us food. That is but in simple word. Photosynthesis. This is what is called photosynthesis. What is next is photosynthesis. Only plants are able to do this process. No other organisms can do this for entire universe. Okay, now what I said with the help of chlorophyll. What is chlorophyll? It is a green thing. Okay, plants contains chlorophyll. Nothing but a green pigment. Like that they are able to do. They build by the help of chlorophyll. They build complex carbohydrates to simple inorganic. Now, these are complex organic molecules. They will get from organic, or we can say they will build complex organic substance to simple complex opposite, simple organic opposite inorganic substances which we consume as food. Okay, substances by using sunlight. Not a source of energy for them. Okay, now it is very easy to say that photosynthesis is a process where we use chlorophyll and light and water and nutrients from soil and air to create food. But very complex processes will take place. So it requires reactions take place and intermediate compound are formed. Now directly from starting to end products are just not from the starting to end. In the middle also, in the intermediate also, products are formed. Intermediate products. Intermediate compounds are formed. Product compounds. Compounds are formed. Now we will learn about plus water plus oxygen. These are the things which we consider. This is the formula, chemical equation from which we label. Now, what we did by doing experiment, we first worked out. We worked on bacteria, purple sulfur bacteria, and what? Purple sulfur bacteria. Purple sulfur bacteria, and we found that light plays a very specific and important role. What we found that? And we found light, nothing but sunlight, plays a specific or important role in the process of photosynthesis. Instead of H2O, how many getting H2O entered as water? Instead of H2O, the bacteria was being instead of H2O, it was giving H2S, or no oxygen was liberated. Liberated or evolved is the same terminology. He calculated that, but that's about the sulfur bacteria. When he did experiment, he found that light is a very specific role. And in the end, instead of H2O, H2S was reduced and no oxygen was liberated. How many oxygen and water? None of this was liberated. Instead, H2S was liberated. And this formula he gave for purple sulfur bacteria. 6 CO2, 6 molecules of carbon dioxide plus 12 molecules of water gives us 6H, 6H12 OH plus 6H2O, 6 molecules of water plus, even not for only bacteria, but even we have made one of the equation as this equation also. It is. It's at the first one. So we also give this as one of the material equation. Now, is there something different in this? You might have this one. This one is nothing but glucose because it's C6H12 O6. This is C6 and C6H12 and O6 is nothing but glucose. It is the end product, starch or glucose, end product is. discovered, bioL1 discovered water, he didn't know about photosynthesis. He just said that water is very essential for growth of plant. For what water is for? For growth of plant. He just said that. But later it was discovered that in photosynthesis, in process of photosynthesis, like photosynthesis. Now in here process is photosynthesis. So let me not tell you this is what happening. Photosynthesis. In photosynthesis later it was said. Later in photosynthesis it was required. Was H2O or it was required. When he said this, when he said that what said about it is required, he didn't know about photosynthesis, the process it did. But later when photosynthesis was discovered, it was said that was correct. Water is required, it is very essential for increasing the plant's mass or plant weight or plant growth. Next is air. We discovered one, right? One of the factor or material was water. Next is air. For air, this is a very interesting, even bigger of a triangle. Nothing but Joseph Priestley. Joseph Priestley is very famous, but his full name is Joseph Priestley. In which year? In 1770. Joseph Priestley first used to see this ABC. These writers, he used to post. What he did, Joseph Priestley? He performed a series of experiments. Okay, he performed first series of experiments, and later it revealed that even air is very important for growth of plant. Now this is what experiments did. What he did is first he took this. What it is called as closed well jar, we can say, or closed jar. Normally we take jar. First he took candle and he placed the candle inside a closed jar. And what he did is he closed it. Jar he placed a candle and he closed it. He observed that after some time the fire extinguished. The candle burned out. Next what he did again, he kept mouse in it. Can you see this? First candle, then he kept a candle and mouse. Again think about it. He observed that even candle was extinguished and the mouse felt very suffocated and it might die. Okay, he felt that. Now two things he placed. After that what he did, this is what is first you can see candle, second you can see mouse and a candle, third you can see candle also burned out and even the mouse was suffocated and about to die. In for experiment, he placed mint plant. He placed mint plant. He observed that even the mouse was alive and even the candle didn't extinguish. Even what mint plant he placed in the bell jar and he placed again mouse and a candle. When he closed it, he observed that not the mouse light, not the candle light. So by this we can conclude that air is also very important for the growth of plants mass or plants weight or plants. Massive amount of uses is a main. Now, what we did, we had this very long seminar and we performed series of experiments and concluded that air is also very important or essential for growth of plants. Now, we just know that the gases exchange will take place, but massive amount of gases, not some, but very large amount of massive amount of gases exchange occurs to stand up. We got massive amount of gaseous exchange take place. Okay, he concluded this take place, that is correct, and take place through stomata. Like bad circular will have bad circuit through that. We exhale carbon dioxide and we inhale oxygen. Plants exhale oxygen and inhale carbon dioxide. The next is light. Two materials are present or two values are present. Next is light. About light we are going to study. Jan Ingenhouse. light and photosynthesis. Light and photosynthesis giant engine house in 1779. Giant engine house, what he did is, he observed that the process of photosynthesis only took place in the presence of light. Now, we traveled, we observed that almost all the plants we see as green color, but some plants with the purple color, red, and then yellow and orange, they will purple. Now, he said that when he observed, what he observed the light was, he observed that process of photosynthesis took place in light only, not in absence of light. Now, whatever I said on different parts, keep it in your mind and further we will discuss. Now, in light only. So, in order to prove this statement, what he did is, he took hydrilla. Hydrilla is an aquatic plant. Okay, and a plant is water. He took hydrilla. We also have an activity on this. He took hydrilla and he observed that near hydrilla, near hydrilla, in sunlight, in bright sunlight, near hydrilla plant, small bubbles were formed. Near hydrilla plant, small bubbles were formed around the green parts of the plant. Around the green part of the plant. What happened? Hydrilla plant, he observed aquatic plant it is, and during the sunlight of the plant, during the green part of the plant, he observed bubbles. And in that, small bubbles in that, it did not. In that, it did not. Means, he didn't observe anything like this in ground. Okay? And later he said that these bubbles were oxygen. What was? Oxygen. Okay? Now, he did an experiment. It was also further confirmed by Engelmann. By Engelmann, in which year? In early 20th century. In early 20th century, by Engelmann, it was said that initially created the water platform. He also observed massive amount of rate of photosynthesis. The process taking place. He uses strand. He looked like he took algae, strand of algae. He took algae and he observed that he exposed to what he did. He did this and he did expose means like light. Exposed to different colors of light. Different light colors. Now what we observed is when he took the strand of algae and exposed to different colors of light, then we see in them nothing but bioL, violet, indigo, blue, green, yellow, orange and red. This is the color which we see in bioL, right? He exposed that different light colors to the strand of algae. Then he used oxygen sensitive bacteria and found that they run. Now, oxygen sensitive bacteria is just sensitive to oxygen. He took that oxygen sensitive bacteria near. He used sensitive bacteria and found that they run. Now he observed that this oxygen sensitive bacteria, they crowd means they came near, they crowd. How will say crowd of people? They crowded near the illuminated area with red and blue. With only red and blue light rays. They came close. This led to more studies. They did more studies after this experiment, and it was in the end said that the role of different colors. What? Role of different colors is a very important in the process of photosynthesis, and they are called as different colors. They are called as pigments. What? Pigment. Pigment was called. What pigment does plants have? Chlorophyll. They have chlorophyll. It is a green pigment. We did an experiment also. Now we have another lab activity. This experiment is to observe the oxygen invert it. We have to invert it. We have to invert it and we have to take it entire water part. How we did for that experiment. We have to take it under that. Yes, invert a water filled test tube over the stream of funnel and yes, now we have to remove this and we have to keep it under the sunlight. So paralysis, we have to take out the bucket and we have to keep it sunlight. Arrange the second in the same way. Now, two red questions have to make one and keep it sunlight. One we have to cover it with black paper. It was not black paper, it was black paper. We have to cover it with black paper. Or even black cloth we can say. This does not expose to sunlight. Paralysis. Now we have to keep it under the shade and let water. When we have to keep it sunlight, then we have to keep it shade. What when we observe, you will see that in the place of water there is air filtering set up. When we keep it sunlight, the apparatus is kept in sunlight, we can see that place of water. Like this place above the water will be filled. Now it is actually gas that will be collected in the test tube. In the gas test tube, whatever gas was evolved, right, in this place, in the when gas is in the traction in the medium of this way, we have to take that gas, test the gas in the test tube by infilling a boric acid. What we have to do is to keep a maximum weight and we have to bring that into here the whatever the gas is evolved, we have to bring it and we observe that the entire apparatus or the stick which would burst out entire whatever we do. This apparatus was there. Later we have to stick this was an application instance. We will observe that it will entire burst out into place. But if we general amount of general knowledge we all know that oxygen combustion. What is combustion? It is burning. We all know what is combustion. It is burning. Combustion requires oxygen. We all know this. Now, when we did combustion here, the combustion took place. It burned out. What we can calculate? Oxygen was released. This we can calculate. If oxygen was not released, then what would happen with the non-zero resistance? If oxygen was released, we have to think that our general knowledge we have to discuss. Combustion needs oxygen. So here combustion took place means that oxygen was released. Next, this is another activity of sunlight. Is sunlight actually required for photosynthesis? We have to see. Now we have to take a solid pad and we remember when we did the experiment. So when these reactions we have to iodate it. That experiment we have to remember and we have to remember the experiment or the process. We have to cover one of the leaf. For example, this is the carbon dioxide. Take one of the leaf and cover it with black paper. Put any design on it. For example, this is the black paper. Put any design on it. Like this design you put, cut it out. Okay, this is a black paper. What? Black paper. Okay, you can take black paper and have to put it or one of the leaf we have to put it and we have to keep in the sunlight. And we have to keep in mind that this part should not be exposed to sunlight. Only this part which we have made cut out. Okay, after we also have exposure of that sunlight, separate the leaf from the plant. We have to separate leaf with one leaf. So only one leaf we have to separate the leaf in the plant and we have to observe. It will be observed that only the part of the leaf which could get light through the cutout design, right, turns bluish black with iodine showing. After you are separate the leaf around. Okay, what is covered by black the part which was not exposed to sunlight would remain green, and the part which was exposed, it will give us what color? Bluish black color. Black color, which says, as I said mentioned before, iodine, presence of iodine it shows. Presence of starch shows. The help of iodine we will be able to know whether the starch is there. Next topic is chlorophyll. Another factor is or material is chlorophyll and photosynthesis. chlorophyll. As we mentioned, as we learned, chlorophyll is nothing but it is a green pigment present in plants. What it is? It is a green pigment present in plants. Again, ancient house is there. As we learned in like ancient house, here also ancient house, he proposed this sentence or statement. Only green part. As I said before, what will happen on the plants who are of different colors such as orange, red, yellow? How would photosynthesis take place in them? Because we know that plants are green because they are having green pigment, nothing but chlorophyll. But what about the plants who don't have green pigment, nothing but chlorophyll? Because they are having green pigment of different colors. Because we have studied that through chlorophyll and light, the process of photosynthesis took place, taking place. But now when chlorophyll is absent, whether the process will take place or not, because even that plants are living, right? They are not dead, they are also living. So we'll see. It's in house. What we need to propose this sentence. Only green plants parts, green parts could carry process, nothing but photosynthesis, could carry photosynthesis process. It became possible due to the work of Pellicular and Cavendin. There are two sentences which we have to remember. Pellicular and Cavendin. First, what Eugene House said said that only green plant parts could carry process. Which process? Photosynthesis. Later it became possible for further discoveries. It became possible because of the two scientists. Became possible because of Cavendin and Pellicular. Pellicular and Cavendin. What Eugene says, only green plants start to carry out photosynthesis, the process. That's it became possible for further discoveries because of two Cavendin and Pellicular. Okay? Due to it 1870. In 1870, because of Cavendin and Pellicular, they obtained or extracted a green color pigment and named it as chlorophyll. Chlorophyll meaning you get it. They only gave us what they did. They obtained green pigment from plants and named it what? Chlorophyll. Named chlorophyll meaning green leaf. What? Green leaf. The part will be very important.